I just watched a documentary about a woman who took on a challenge. And I'm not talking about those novice challenges that you see on TikTok where it's a spoonful of cinnamon or even eating laundry detergent. No, this is one of those challenges that is not meant for the weak, okay? And that is taking on 100 men in one day. And I'm not talking about wrestling. I'm talking about more along the lines of Kama Sutra. So this man named Josh Peters peered into the everyday life of a prawn star, and to me it was completely fascinating because she ended up taking this endeavor that was a lot bigger than most prawn stars would take on, and it really opened my eyes when I saw the events unfolding. One of the events that really shocked me was when she made the announcement, and the amount of men that flooded her DMs just to try to participate in the event was unbelievably astonishing. Her phone is overheating. There's no doubt about that, because that is a lot of text messages that she's receiving. I can't imagine just how many gigabytes of storage she needs to hold that many text messages. Probably 1,000 or 1,000,000, or in this case, textillion. But let's go ahead and move forward with the man, because the man also gave their input in the documentary, luckily, but they came out blurry. Not because they're being censored, but because that's what they look like. Okay. No, but we get to listen to what they were thinking throughout the situation. So let's go ahead and listen to what they thought.
Just as we were starting to think the Queen of Southampton was right, and this was all a hoax, the first man arrived.
I guess I'm here for the thing.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's a bit early.
I'm Josh, by the way.
Oh, hey.
Hey, nice to meet you.
I never really think about things before I do them, so I've just kind of do them and then think, oh, was that okay?
When I heard this man say this, I was thinking to myself, like, you know what? This is why women live longer. Because men do this. Why? And that's not the only out of touch thing that some of these men have said. There are others as well.
It's one of my motivations for coming here.
Yeah.
Like, is it gonna happen,
Yes.
am I gonna get mugged?
So you do have an idea as to whether you think you're gonna get mugged or not. I'd rather just not go down that path if I'm already thinking that. And the fact that this man is thinking, am I gonna get mugged? Bro, scammers exist, man. And not only do scammers exist, you know nothing about this woman. And it's been shown time and time again that this occurs. Of course, not in every part of the world, but for sure in Colombia. Now, we don't live in Colombia, but the fact that it happens there and there is evidence that it does happen means that it could potentially happen anywhere. Now, this next guy, he's starting to like sober up and starting to realize like, yo, man, I think I might have fucked up.
We were able to speak to another man as he left the Airbnb, although he seemed shaken by the experience.
How are you feeling?
It's not something I'd normally do, but I saw it. I thought, might as well.
Yeah.
I think I saw it and I just thought, fucking might as well just do it.
And like, how long did you get with her?
She said 5 minutes, and then halfway through, she said she hadn't started the timer, so she said like 5 minutes from now. Which was all right.
So you got to like,
Yeah, just literally time.
do you know how many guys have gone before you?
No idea. No idea.
Yeah, like, is that one?
Well, look, yeah, but I don't really know idea. I just thought,
Are you happy you did it?
a little bit, I'm just a bit nervous, if anyone find out. My dad would kick me out straight away.
Brilliant.
So there's two things that stand out from this guy. The first thing is that he says that he doesn't really know what he did. And then the second thing, after they ask him, are you happy about what you did? He says that he's really nervous because if anybody finds out, especially his dad's going to kick him out of the house. And the reason why I want to bring that up is because oftentimes we forget that even men can face consequences. Usually in society, we see consequences for women. Oftentimes the public or people online, they shame, castigate, or even lambast women. But very rarely do you ever see that for men. And even though men are supposedly praised for hooking up with a woman, this clearly indicates that these men are not exactly proud of what they're doing. Even this young man here, who he knows that if his dad finds out about what he did, hooking up with some woman who got DP'd by 100 guys, that's not exactly gonna sound rosy. There was even this one moment in the documentary where there was this guy, he ended up texting Lily, and what he texted really had me scratching my head and thinking, yeah, you're definitely gonna regret that. And that was that he wanted to lose his virginity to her.
Hey there, no, I'm late, but would love to you and lose my virginity.
He actually said loose my virginity. He has to get his spelling fixed.
The fact that he's losing it to a prawn star, I feel like people are going to constantly remind you that you lost it to the wrong person. And eventually that kind of pressure is going to build this self-fulfilling prophecy where you're actually going to believe that you lost it to the wrong person. So that particular person, if he did go along with his plan, he could potentially regret that decision far down the future. The good news is that there was a tremendous amount of men who ended up canceling. I'm sure that the majority of men were just busy with something else and couldn't make it, realizing that, yeah, I couldn't get the day off. To those few men though that did realize, like, you know what, I can't do this, because they realized that they have to feel her out before they feel her in, congratulations. Tiny clap. So I don't know if you're asking this question, but nonetheless, I'll ask it for you. What about the prawn star? How does she feel about accomplishing such a feat? Well, let's take a look.
It's not like just having sex with someone.
Yeah. Just one in, one out. Like, it feels intense.
Like more intense than you thought it might.
Definitely.
Sorry. It's okay. It's okay. Just take
Yeah, 1 minute.
Okay, don't cry. At least there wasn't 1,000 people, right?
She announced to her fans that in February of 2025, she would be sleeping with 1,000 men in a single day to break the world record.
Well, she's gonna need to get a phone with more gigabytes. Ultimately, at the end of the day, man, it's up to her to make that decision. She says it's one of her fantasies. So if she's comfortable doing this, then by all means, go for it. I know there's going to be people that are going to argue and say, no, she's just, she has demons that follow her and, exorcist this and all of that. Like, listen, man, like at the end of the day, I think that she has enough agency to make her own decisions, as well as those men that participated in that event. Because once you have experience in a certain situation and you realize that it's probably not as bad as you thought it was going to be, and then you ante up the quantity of men, then it seems to me like she's comfortable with it. So I just want to go ahead and say that if you're going to participate in this event and you're a man, just be careful, man. Just be very careful, as well as this woman. I hope that she's okay. As you guys know, when it comes to this industry, women, mostly women, I think, or men as well, their rates for disappearing themselves is really high. So I don't know, man. I kind of worry about them. But if she wants to go down this path, then, by all means, let her. So, yeah, I just wanted to just go ahead and just give my input on that. I thought that was pretty insane, pretty funny at times, and serious. But, yeah, man, that's really all I have for you guys. And, yeah, hopefully you guys learned something today.